Bronze Star was uh, uh, just just continuous. You know, a scout was just continuous under fire and in minefields. That people don't remember that, but you were a scout. You were the one in the minefields first too. You know, and there was a lot of them. And I was always lucky they were sloppy. The guys that put them down were just sloppy, didn't cover them up good, or, you know, you could tell they'd been there or something. And I just always knew it. You know, when I'd get in it, I'd know it and yell at them that there's mines there, you know. Because that would, people don't think of that, but that's dangerous as hell also, you know. I knew a lot of guys who got lost legs and everything else, and they had one kind, I think we called them bouncing betties. After they were buried under a little dirt or something, you know, and after you took your foot off, they bounced up in the air about crotch high and then went off and threw shrapnel. And could you just think about that, you know. Just to think about it is awful. I said, I've not always been such a sweetheart like I am now. Believe it or not, back when I was 19, I could be a real jerk. I remembered an incident when I was in the infantry in Germany in '45. We'd been chasing a German army horse outfit for hours. We were riding on tanks, so you could say we should have caught them easily. However, they would leave a gun behind every now and then, and when we come around a turn on a hillside or went over a hilltop, they would fire on us. It would be hard to knock the gun out, so the horses would get a good head start. I remember once that day I was lying near some trees and an anti-tank gun, that's what they'd leave behind, laid a shell right beside me. The explosion was so forceful that I remember it nearly rolled me over. Just before dark, we finally caught up with them in a small town with a big high railroad embankment and a tunnel under the railroad, just a little narrow tunnel. And we were smarter than Indians chasing a stagecoach for hours but not catching anything. We shot the horses in the tunnel and captured the outfit, you know. And I remember a young, beautiful girl had run out to see what was going on. A piece of shrapnel hit her leg and she was bleeding and screaming. And all the medicine we had with us is a medic with some Band-Aids and pills. Poor little girl. Things like that happened around us all the time. At night time, I couldn't sleep because I kept hearing the horses. They were still hooked up to things, and some had been wounded. I'd been raised on a farm, so I got up and unharnessed them, letting them run free. I decided to check out the wagons. One was a two-wheeler holding a huge cooking pot furnace combination, which enabled them to cook on the move. They had been cooking split pea soup. I didn't eat any. Checking around some more, I found the headquarters wagon. I got the best pistol I'd ever laid eyes on. I also found a large metal box with the payroll inside. I found fresh German money with the band still on it. Quickly I filled up the pockets of my field jacket and pants till they could hold no more. What I did with the money will take a few more stories. The next day my buddy and I were walking around the town. We discovered a huge factory that had not been damaged, so we went inside to check it out. No one was around except for the manager. He showed us his credentials, all the while telling us how important he was, that we should leave and not damage anything. I sure wouldn't want to have worked for him. He sat in his chair at a big desk in the big office with a big glass picture of Hitler hanging on the wall behind him. The manager was such a creep I couldn't stand him, so I pulled out my new pistol and told him I hadn't fired it yet. I emptied the gun, aiming at the picture. The glass flew over the creep and his big desk. It's amazing how fast creeps can turn into sweethearts like me, but he did. And I say I know a few creeps I would like to treat the some way. Some who let me know how they despise soldiers, especially low-life moron infantry soldiers like me. If I wasn't such a sweetheart, they would be covered with flying glass. I wonder if a sweetheart can turn back into a real badass jerk.